So the other day I met a guy, man, he does data analytics for the city of Detroit. And part of what his job is, his task force, their job is to make sure that the city never goes bankrupt again. So I was talking to him at a wedding, and so he saw me with a camera and asked if this is what I do full time. And I told him, yeah, it's not just a hobby, it's just, this is really how I generate revenue, it's how I eat. And he went on to say that one of the problems he had with entrepreneurship is the fact that you have to hunt for your own food. And I don't know what made him want to use that terminology or what made him want to compare entrepreneurship to being a lion out there in the jungle who has to hunt prey to survive. But that analogy was spot on. Like I couldn't even thought of it a better way myself. It was so spot on, man, because like if I don't eat, I'm going to die. Literally, I'm gonna die. And not just a physical death, not just my flesh being no more. I'm talking about you die in a lot of different ways. You can die in an emotional way. You can die in a spiritual way. Like you can witness death many times, not just physically. You can have what's called an ego death, right? Where a person who you thought you was, you being put in your place by the universe. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't get it out my head, man, as he mentioned it like that, Again, when you get into this entrepreneurship lifestyle, you stand to lose a lot. And that's the thing that's uncomfortable for most of us. You risking losing your family, you risking losing your friends, you risking losing your own sanity. You risk losing your own peace of mind because it fucks with you at night when you know you didn't generate revenue that day. So you can't, it's hard to sleep. You ask yourself, well, what the fuck am I gonna do tomorrow? Last night I'm up till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, like, well, what the fuck am I going to do tomorrow? What is my next move here? And I always have to be thinking about my next move. A lot of times it's like I find myself in quote unquote a happy moment in life. Let's say I'm with my mom, my family, I catch myself smiling and happy. And then it's like I become the watcher of the moment instead of being the person in the moment. It's like I'm watching myself smile too much. Like, hey nigga, what you smiling for? You need to be focused. You need to get back to work. So it's a lot of that going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't necessarily control it. I just kind of deal with it. I manage it to my, to the best of my ability. But that's the biggest challenge, man. The mental challenge of, hey, I didn't make no money today and the bills is due soon. What am I going to do? What am I going to have to sacrifice? What am I going to have to let go of? A lot of us are in a much tougher spot ever since unemployment has run out. So, I've been getting friends who've been asking me, man, for twos and fews here and there. And I just feel so bad, man, because I know what has to happen. Most of us have to go back to work. If I'm not generating enough revenue to sustain my household, I have to go back to work at some point. So it ain't no time to play out here for me, man. And it's a unique predicament. And for some reason, I just would not trade this for anything. I would not trade it. Like I found my way of satisfying the market. Now my only job is to figure out how to scale this thing and put it on a bigger level, take it to a bigger platform because the skill is there. I have the talent and now I need to build a team to be able to scale this process out so we can satisfy more people, man. I make people cry, bring people to tears. I impact people emotionally, man, and that's what I fell in love with doing, and I'm never gonna stop doing that. So the headache, the heartache, all of that you're bound to feel on this journey, it's worth it, man. It's worth all the pain that you feel because it's such a painful experience. Being handicapped, having to settle for extra pack of noodles, you know what I'm saying? Like, because you're trying to teach yourself discipline, man. I was at the gym today and I ran into another entrepreneur who was telling me about the process of teaching his kids finance. I let him know I got a kid on the way soon, so I'm trying to learn these things. How do I have the conversation? How do I start the conversation? And he said it's damn near impossible to get your kid to understand at a young age, like, hey, we got to pay bills and, because he said my kids want Jordans, my kids want to go on field trips and shit, like, normal kid shit. And I remember as a kid, I didn't care about it, so I can't expect my kid to. But this is the reality of the world we live in, man, where these conversations need to be had. I feel like our children should know down to a T every penny that we generate, every penny that comes into the house. If you're still telling your kids about Christmas after the age of 5, you are doing them a disservice. Why not start teaching our kids at an early age that, hey, mommy and daddy is generating this revenue. We work hard, we put the work in, It don't come for free, and Santa Claus ain't just dropping it off. What would that do for a kid's mind? How much more would that kid appreciate his parents? How much more? Scenarios like trying to teach your kids what's a bad purchase versus what's a good purchase. You're gonna find yourself in it at some point as a conscious human being. So I know it's my job to, number one, I have to be the example. So my kids can't witness me over consuming. And that's not just like products. I'm talking about even content. I don't want my kids watching me consuming too much TV. I don't want my kids watching me consuming too many video games. And not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but there's just a certain example that I want to set, like, hey, motion. objects in motion stay in motion. And if you create some type of motion, some type of momentum with your life, building some type of skill set up, learning some type of trade, learning how to satisfy the market, and become a productive member of society at an early age. That's what we should be teaching our children. We should not be extending their childhoods beyond the age of 12. Like, it's time for them to grow up at a certain time, you know. And while you're a kid, you're young, you're an infant, up to age 5, that's 1,825 days. We're gonna have a great time. Play around, we're gonna go to the park, we're gonna throw basketballs, footballs, whatever. We're gonna have a good time. But at some point, I'm gonna start taking you as a serious human being, not just a kid. And I'm gonna ask you, what are you passionate about? What should we be going towards? Yeah, I just think it's just such a fascinating predicament, man, for myself to be in. That's it, man. I ain't want to take up too much time on here, man. I really know I need to get back out here more, especially, you know, again, being on the hunt. My face needs to be seen more. My brand needs to be out there more. I obviously don't believe in selling to people, but if you can give some helpful advice, then shit, that's a start, you know. So today I'm actually getting ready to go and do an interview. Somebody actually reached out to me, man, wanted to talk to me and my brother about what we do as entrepreneurs. And they want to get some B-roll of us. They want to get some footage of us living our lives and talking. And I'm used to being a guy doing this for other people, but somebody actually want to do it for us for a change. So absolutely, we're all in, you know. We told them absolutely we want to do this. And so I'm headed out now to the barbershop to get my hair cut. As you can see, I'm a little bit rough. Once I get that cut, man, do this interview, impact people's lives, make a difference out here, man, and get back to work. That's all I'm doing, man. I just got to stay working. But I love y'all, and I'll catch y'all, man. Peace.